Hello everyone and welcome back. Today I'll be continuing to read Black Panther the Young Prince. Today I'm reading chapter 22. So let's get started. The return bus trip home was quiet. The three of them barely spoke. T'Challa's thoughts were scattered. Blindfolded kids, Gemini in his skull, M'Baku. Well, Sheila said, at least we know why they're called the skulls. Why? T'Challa asked. Because they're a bunch of boneheads, Sheila snapped. There's a secret society right in our school, Zeke said in amazement. It's like something from one of my books, but it's real, Sheila said. They had a skull, Zeke said. A human skull. T'Challa didn't need to be reminded. This is us, Zeke said, and as he and Sheila rose from their seats. See you tomorrow. Right, T'Challa said absently. Tomorrow. Hey, Zeke called before he got off. You never said where you live. T'Challa swallowed. I'm a bit further up. Zeke nodded. Oh, well, if you take the... Sheila closed her eyes and opened them again, slowly. You're worried about bus routes after what we just saw? Zeke shrugged. T'Challa was glad Sheila interrupted him, because he didn't have a quick answer ready. T'Challa slipped back into the embassy unnoticed, and he opened the door in his room. He tapped a communication bead on his Kyomo bracelet immediately. Ancient Order of Skulls, he said. A screen rose up around him. After a moment there was a beep and small lines of text appeared. Skulls, rumored to be an American secret society, founded 1930s. No known facts or information. Said to be founded by Thaddeus Jones, deceased, once described as an African-American mystic and occultist. Gemini's words came back to him. This is the skull of my great-grandfather, Thaddeus Jones, the first Grand Mage of the Ancient Order of the Skulls. He knew a little about secret societies. In Wakanda there were several, and they were always jockeying for power. His father called them usurpers, people who wanted to take his throne and sell vast amounts of vibranium for their own personal reward. T'Challa slipped out of his coat and sat down in a chair. What was his friend doing in that crazy ritual? M'Baku's father had taught him better than that. He just didn't understand. T'Challa slept fitfully and awoke several times during the night. He kept seeing Gemini Jones in that dark room, slowly turning in a circle, the ghastly skull held up to the moonlight coming through the roof. This is the skull of my great-grandfather, Thaddeus Jones. And what about the words he spoke? What did they mean? And the book the kid swore upon? At some point, he must have fallen asleep, because the next thing he knew, beep, 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 beep. T'Challa reached out from under the covers and shut off the alarm. He looked across the room and thought he might see M'Baku, but no such luck. He was gone, and then it all came rushing back to him. The Ancient Order of the Skulls, candles on a tree stump, a gleaming human skull, M'Baku. He pushed the weird thoughts to the back of his mind and got ready for school. Sheila found him at lunchtime and cornered him, her eyes wide. You're not going to believe this, she said breathlessly. 5 minutes later, T'Challa, Sheila, and Zeke were in the cafeteria. The noise and clatter of activities set T'Challa's nerves on edge. What is it? T'Challa asked. Sheila flipped open her tablet. Remember the words Gemini was speaking last night? The ones we didn't understand? Yes, T'Challa and Zeke said at the same time. It was Old Nubian, Sheila said proudly. Old what? Zeke asked. And that's when T'Challa remembered. What? Sheila asked. What is it? T'Challa paused. Some of the words, they seemed familiar, like I've heard them back home. Maybe it's from the same family of languages, Sheila suggested. Old Nubian is ancient. It's one of the oldest African languages, going all the way back to the 4th century. T'Challa felt a twinge of envy. He should have been the one to recognize the language first. Wait, he started. How did you... Sheila wagged her cell phone in front of him. I had it on audio record. Excellent move, said Zeke. And all I had to do was transcribe it. She said, Look, She flipped the tablet around so T'Challa and Zeke could see the screen. T'Challa mouthed the words in front of him. Darkness falls, and he shall awaken. Swear to him, and ye shall be rewarded. A cold chill crept up T'Challa's neck. He swallowed. What in the world is this? Some kind of spell, Zeke said in a tremor voice. Spell? Sheila shot back. There's no such thing as spells. This isn't the Dark Ages. T'Challa leaned back from the table. He knew this wasn't true. In Africa and Wakanda, the old magic was still practiced, and there were many people who fell victim to curses and dark spells. Or at least they claimed they had. Who is he? Zeke asked. Swear to who? Whom? Sheila corrected him. Whatever, Zeke said. The sunlight in the cafeteria disappeared, blotted all out by dark clouds. The three students sat very still for what seemed like minutes. The noise around them slowly morphed into one constant hum, one that seemed to pierce T'Challa's ears. His father had told him tales of monsters, demons, and spirits when he was a child, but those were just fireside tales, weren't they? Did those things really exist in the modern world? Darkness falls, and he shall awaken. What did it mean? He didn't have an answer, but he knew he had to find out.